Welcome back to my retrospective review of the classic Dragon Ball movies. Last time, I took a look at Curse of the Blood Rubies from 1986, Sleeping Princess in Devil's Castle from 1987, Mystical Adventure from 1988, and Path to Power from 1996. One was great, a couple were enjoyable enough, and one was very meh. However, today I start my journey with the Dragon Ball Z movies, starting with Dead Zone from 1989, World's Strongest from 1990, and The Tree of Might also from 1990. All of these movies either take inspiration or directly borrow from the Saiyan saga of Dragon Ball Z, so let's not waste any more time. Today we start with Dragon Ball Z, Dead Zone. Right off the bat, this movie has two crippling plot holes that almost kill the entire film. The plot of this movie is that Garlic Jr. wants to use the Dragon Balls to gain immortality and take over the world.
Of course!
However, the opening scene shows Garlic's henchmen supposedly kill Piccolo, and by proxy Kami, which would render the Dragon Balls useless. However, because the Dragon Balls are still active, we know that all this bluff about defeating Piccolo is garbage.
You know, we defeated Piccolo too, kid.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
We're not that shabby.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
It's like they're telling the story backwards or they don't know the rules of the show they're writing for. This completely sinks any of the tension this movie wants to build, and because there's no tension the fights become much less interesting. That's not the only problem though. Another glaring issue comes around when Garlic's henchmen kidnap Gohan because they want Gohan's hat, which has a Dragon Ball on it. But my question is, why would they carry a screaming, crying child to their hideout when they could easily take the hat off him? That'd be like if you went into a store with the intention of stealing something and ran out holding a screaming child wearing the thing you wanted. It's not until later that Garlic discovers Gohan's potential and wants to keep him. They had no reason to kidnap him other than to get Goku into the action. Also, can we talk about what a dumb villain Garlic Jr. is? From a design perspective, I think both he and his henchmen fit well into the world of Dragon Ball and fit the aesthetic of this film very well, which is impressive considering they weren't designed by Akira Toriyama, but it's almost as if Garlic Jr. didn't think about his plan at all. First he tries to kill Piccolo and Kami before finding and using the Dragon Balls, then when he does become immortal, he opens up the one plot device that can defeat him, the Dead Zone. People complain about Goku acting dumb in Dragon Ball Super, but Garlic Jr. is actually idiotic. Believe it not though, this movie isn't all bad and it did have some good elements. Chi-Chi protecting Gohan from Garlic's henchmen was a neat character moment, as was Goku rushing back to his house sensing Chi-Chi was in trouble. The animation was also very nice, with fight between Goku and Garlic's henchmen being filled with imaginative choreography. Unfortunately, that's about all I can say about the film. It's entertaining at best but riddled with plot holes. That's not even to mention the final fight with Garlic Jr., which takes so many visual cues from Goku and Piccolo's fight with Raditz, like the weighted clothing reveal and Gohan's last-minute save. It has its bright spots, but overall it's a messy movie that doesn't deliver. I give Dead Zone a 5.2 out of 10. I'd much rather watch it than Curse of the Blood Rubies. So far, it seems that a simple plot is the best formula for a Dragon Ball movie. Trying to shove too much into a movie with an already limited running time is bound to cause pacing issues, plot holes, and boring characters. Sadly, this movie suffers from the opposite problem, but let's go over everything I liked because there is a ton to like about the World's Strongest. The plot follows Goku as he tries to rescue his friends from Dr. Wheelo, a mad scientist who is looking for the best body to implant his brain in so he can take over the world. The action in this movie is incredible for the most part, probably the greatest of the Dragon Ball movies so far, with colorful action scenes that all feel distinct from one another. Whether it be Roshi fighting some China Cyberman at Kame House,
Wait up, Bioman!
the gang fighting against the Bio Warriors in the depths of Dr. Wheelo's lair, or Goku and Piccolo having one last battle with each other, the action is fresh and exciting and I'm sure many of you will recognize them from the original opening for Dragon Ball Z for us Westerners. Dragon Ball Z! Something I haven't touched on yet is the score of these movies, and that's because there wasn't a reason to. But the score in this movie is incredible, it makes the entire film feel like a horror movie, just listen for yourself. And because of this score, as well as the color palette of the film, it feels completely unique from any other Dragon Ball movie so far. My only problem would have to be the pacing during the third act, because it is so boring and slow. The group Kamehameha with Master Roshi, Krillin, and Goku was a really cool moment, but other than that it drags its feet trying to stretch its runtime to an hour. The action is slow, with some of the most basic choreography for a fight you could think of. You know, I said a complex plot for a short movie is a recipe for disaster. Well, this movie doesn't have enough plot to fill its 1 hour runtime, and tries to stretch its 40-minute long script for its hour-long runtime. The final fight between Goku and Dr. Wheelo also has a lot of similarities to Goku's fight with Vegeta, as if it weren't boring enough, and it's not the only instance of unneeded padding in this movie either. There's an entire Gohan dream sequence that you could cut from the movie without missing anything. Overall, this movie absolutely nailed the first and second acts, but couldn't stick the landing and fell on its face. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell.
Rock the dragon, Dragon Ball, sing the tale.
The Tree of Might is one of those Dragon Ball movies that truly has something for everyone. If you enjoy the slice of life side of Dragon Ball, the Tree of Might has got that. If you enjoy big, epic battles, the Tree of Might has got that. If you enjoy seeing Goku wreck shop, the Tree of Might has got that. The movie starts as a small pod falls from space and lands on Earth. Meanwhile, the crew are camping in the woods when suddenly the forest catches fire. They do their best but no dice, the forest is burned to the ground. They collect the Dragon Balls to restore the forest to its former beauty. You're probably wondering what this has to do with the rest of the movie, and you'll be glad to know it has absolutely nothing to do with the story. It's instead dedicated to introducing Gohan's new pet dragon, Icarus. A lot of people seem to find him annoying, but, at least in this movie, he seems actually kind of cute. The slice of life stuff afterward is quite enjoyable. It's nice to see Goku try and drown his kid, spend time with Gohan. However, the story finally gets rolling as the Turles Crusher Corps, yes that's actually what they're called, arrive on Earth, and plant the Tree of Might. It's actually an incredible concept that raises the stakes in a natural way, sucking the very life out of the planet, and leaves our heroes with no choice but to act immediately. The action in this movie is stunning, maybe not as great as the world's strongest, but still superb. It also brings Tien, Yamcha, and Chaozu back into the limelight, finally giving them something to do since Mystical Adventure. And it's not like in Resurrection F where they contribute nothing, in this movie they actually help Goku pull through to victory. I feel like now would be as good a time as any to discuss the main villain of the movie, Turles, aka the original Goku Black. Going in, I thought he was going to be a generic, cookie-cutter villain, meant to serve as nothing more than a walking power level. But turns out he has way more personality than just evil Goku. Not only is he fun to watch, he's a merciless, cruel, and prideful individual not unlike Frieza. He's even got the racism down. He's also incredibly cunning, such as using Gohan as a weapon against Goku. However, Icarus finally becomes relevant to the plot and manages to get the Great Ape Gohan under control, which I thought was a cute scene. The movie ends with Goku using his trump card, the Spirit Bomb. However, there isn't enough energy in the Earth left to make a big enough Spirit Bomb. The movie is surprisingly a lot darker than I thought it would be, with unsettling imagery and a tense score. It feels like all is lost. However, Goku begins to take the energy from the tree, charging a spirit bomb powerful enough to obliterate both Turles and the tree. It's a creative way to get rid of it, and the movie ends with Christmas being saved. I'll be giving the Tree of Might a 9 out of 10, and I have now seen 7 of the Dragon Ball films, and here's how I would rank them. At number 7 is Curse of the Blood Rubies, at number 6 is Dead Zone, number 5 is Sleeping Princess in Devil's Castle, number 4 would be Mystical Adventure, World's Strongest takes up the 3rd spot, number 2 is the Tree of Might, and number 1 is Path to Power. Next time I'll be reviewing Lord Slug from 1991, Cooler's Revenge also from 1991, and The Return of Cooler from 1992. Be sure to subscribe to make sure you don't miss it, and leave a comment telling me who your favorite Dragon Ball character is down in the towel section below. I'm gonna go make some waffles.